Hi guys, how are you? I hope you all are doing fine and I hope you all are reading more books. My library right now is in shambles. Like there are piles of books everywhere because one of you asked me to share my entire book collection. So I'll be sharing my TBR and then I'll be sharing the rest of the books that I have read. But for that to happen, I have to like rearrange them because there was like absolutely no theme going on here. It's just piles of books. So I thought that if I compartmentalize all of that, I'll it will probably be easy for me to make a video on it. So that's that. Today we are going to talk about the authors who need to pay for my therapy. These are the authors that have like traumatized me in the worst way possible, be it like from a character death or just including elements that I was not expecting in a book, all of those things. So yes, this could be a spoiler. I will mention all the books in the description, so please go through it before watching the whole video. I do not want to ruin your reading experience. That being said, let's get into the video. So the first book is Dun, 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 Haunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton. Yes, H.D. Carlton. So, when I first got this book, I was told this was dark romance, and I was, this naive person who have never been introduced to the genre of dark romance. Due to my naivety, I thought that dark romance is just, books that deal with, some triggering elements that could be triggering for a lot of people, like assault, trafficking, violence of any sort. What I did not expect going into the book was it will come at the hands of the main male character. And when that happened, because there was such a hype around this book, everybody was in love with Zaid Meadows. Um, and I was clueless. Like, I'm not trying to kink shame anybody, but like, still, I'm just kink asking why. Because what was that? What was that? Like, I know he did a lot of good things in Hunting Adeline, and the amount of trouble he went through to find his girlfriend, all of that is fine. But why are we forgetting and letting go the gun scene? Like, she specifically said no multiple times in that book, and like I just want to ask the author, what were you thinking? And I have read books where this particular kink has been addressed, and in a good way, where she agrees to it, where she actually, the like female main character, fantasize about it. So she specifically tells the main male character about it, and then they go through that. But no words were spoken, Zaid Meadows. So yeah, um I was traumatized, to say the least. Like, I was, um, for a good amount of time, I was not able to pick up a romance book, fearing, like, oh, what's going on with Book Talk? What will they recommend me? And I was not trusting the Book Talk community. So, yeah, the first book is Haunting Adeline. The second book is a classic, by the way. It's Letters to Milena by Kafka. The way the way he has written, like, all of those things, there are very mundane things, there are like words that will stir something inside you. And I was not expecting that to happen when I'm just reading letters from a person to another person. So yeah, this was like I also have this, dilemma about reading letters of a certain person, because these are meant to be personal. These are not meant to be published, I think, until consent is given, but which I don't think it was. But yeah, these, look at the annotations, and yes, it traumatized me. Not traumatized, I would say. It was just very sad to, see him go through all of that, and the only person he found solace in was Milena at that time. But then I was struggling with a lot of things, because he was also cheating on his wife, I think, during that time, and she was cheating on her husband. And I was like, okay, I want to romanticize their letters, but I don't want to be an asshole for doing that, because they are cheating on their respective partners. And I was like confused af. The next book is again a classic. It's Animal Farm by George Orwell. Now, this is a very short book. You'll go through it, like, in a day, couple of hours. But the impact this book leaves is huge. It's like you will start questioning what are we doing as citizens, and why are we not questioning our government, because this book was written like 100 years back. Why is it still holding true? Why are we still behaving like all those animals in the farm? Why are, like, some animals are more, important than others? Like, this was one of the lines, I think. Let me read it to you. All animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. Why is it, like, this was like, I was questioning the entire thing. I was questioning the politics in my country, I was questioning the politics in a lot of countries, and then I was questioning the whole institution of democracy. Being a political science and student, it was like crazy for me to see that this author wrote something way back, and not much has changed, like. And that's why I'm, by the way, terrified to read 1984, because it deals with a lot of things. Like, I think there are also rape undertones as well in that book. I have just, I think, in the passing, I have read some, article about it. And yeah, i don't know I don't know what's going on with this book. So yeah, this was the one that traumatized, like, not traumatized, it was, I had a lot of questions. Then the one that actually traumatized me and made me ugly cry, like ugly cry. I was like, first of all, I was PMSing when I was reading this book, and then I was like hurling abuses at Rebecca Yarros. I'm a very peaceful person. I would like to think that about myself, but yeah, don't do me dirty like that, because seriously, Liam Mary, like, he was a good guy, dude, and he shouldn't have died that early. Like, I was in love with his character. The, whole, he used to do wood carving and all of those things, and it was so, like, he was not even hurt, just because there are this whole stupid logic of, like, if the dragon dies, the rider cannot survive their death. By the way, what was, like, I'm still questioning the logic behind it. Like, how did that happen? What's going, why? And if by that, like, why is it not vice versa? Like, why are the dragons not dead when the riders die? It doesn't make any sense. So yeah, when Liam, like, happened like that, it ruined me. It absolutely shattered me. Then, like, this was a mini trauma, not much of a trauma, because I don't know why. When I got into this book, I thought that Catherine would be alive. I never expected her to die, and the story to go on for like so long, even after her death. So I was confused. I was also questioning, like, I picked this up thinking that this would be a Jane Austen romance. I was so wrong. Couldn't be more away from the truth. There was like no romance, zero romance. Lot of, I think, not at all fictional bombarding. These were very real characters. So yeah, Catherine's death was like, and then I was just counting the pages after her death. I was just counting the pages that how much more, like, why is this going on? Like, where is this story going? Then the one thing that I'm like very after reading this book, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. Oh God, after reading the entire book, I was so sad about Sal Singh. I was so sad about Ravi Singh. I was sad about this girl who died. I think, Andy Bell. Like, she was also a very good girl. She was the popular girl, but she was also good. And I was so sad about it. Like, why? And the entire, just like Sal Singh's death, I took it very personal. Like, don't, he, if he was in jail or something, I would still be, um okay with it, because she did prove it somewhere. And there was this whole confession, there was police involved, the real killer was, you know caught and put in jail. But Sal Singh deserved better. Holly Jackson, you need to pay for my therapy. The last book in the series of authors who need to pay for my therapy is, the last author is Elif Shafak. This was my first book from her. It is The 40 Rules of Love. There was Rumi and Shams, and I know how that story ended. But Ella's, and I think there was this guy. Ella's story should have been better than that. I was like, really, this is a beautiful book, do not get me wrong on that. Like, it's very, poetic, the poetic undertones. There is elements of love. It will make you see love in a whole different light. There is more, emphasis on devotion, sacrifice, and the whole prospect of giving in a love. But still, Ella should, like, her story should have ended on a more positive note, is what I felt. So yeah, I was heartbroken for her. That's it. I'm just getting depressed just thinking about it. So yeah, anyway guys, these were like all the authors as of now, as of this year, who need to pay for my therapy. I intend to read a lot more books. I intend to read A Little Life this year. Might make another video on this whole topic. So yes, tell me all the authors name who have traumatized you. Special mention to J.K. Rowling and George R.R. Martin, because yes, they have traumatized the generation of us. Fred and George shouldn't have gone like that. Severus Snape, nope. Daenerys Targaryen, we were in love with her, but yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.